I don't know a teenage boy who doesn't follow Andrew Tate. He's not appealing to a tiny audience. You've got to bear in mind he had 4.7 million followers on Instagram. My own sons have been showing me videos for ages. Now, he takes quite a blunt approach to things like you can't trust the government, this crisis is overblown, it's all about control, break through the matrix, be successful, overcome depression. It's all really good stuff, actually.
And they'll find him wherever he is. I mean, is he findable now?
Of course, he's on Rumble, and when he moved to Rumble, Rumble's daily traffic went up nearly 50%. The thing is, you can take him off social media. You have not made the world a safer place. What you've done is, in effect, radicalise a generation of young men. They were not radicalised by his message. I tell you what they're radicalised by, why he's been removed from social media. I interviewed several teenage boys about this. What they think is that Andrew Tate was too powerful, and they recognise that governments have people removed from the internet they don't like. So what you have is a generation of young men who know that there's been a blow against free speech. Andrew Tate's messages don't trust the government. All this will do is reinforce that.
Andrew Tate speaks volumes. Otherwise, he wouldn't have such a large following. And what he speaks, majority of the time, is true. Or otherwise, he wouldn't have been deplatformed. People aren't getting deplatformed for saying stupid things because even the system knows, and I might sound like I'm a conspiracy theorist, but I'm not. Even the system knows that if you say something dumb and stupid, that the internet will rip you apart. But there have been few people in the world that have said things that at some point say very true things. And now that doesn't fit with the agenda or the conversation that they're trying to outline. But here is the difference with Andrew Tate. Although you have deplatformed him, he's still loud, he's still proud, and he's still speaking the message he wants to speak. He's come out and said he's learned a few things, and what he's learned is that he needs to better word himself. And he's even said that on Piers Morgan, who he's recently had an interview with. And Piers Morgan tried to grill him by doing his old tactic of interrupting someone while trying to have a debate. It's a unique trait he has, but he does it all the time. Now, Andrew Tate knew this, but Andrew Tate still came back at him, even with the thing that I cannot understand, the word misogynist. Everyone throws the word misogyny, misogynist onto everything a man does, and that's a very dangerous precedent because we are basically telling people you do not need to know what it means, just say the words, say it, don't know what it is, and believe it. If there is a word that you hear someone saying and you think it's somewhat intelligent, or you think there is some value to the word but you don't know what the word is, do yourself a favor and Google it. It's right there. Do it. People are throwing the word misogynist around but don't even know what it means. It makes you look like a fool. So Andrew Tate came and clapped back and said, well, I'm not a misogynist because I don't hate women. Fair enough. But no, Piers Morgan wanted to drive that home. But even after all of this whole back and forth between him, Piers Morgan himself, in an interview with 3 other people later, even said himself that he cannot understand, even though there are things that he doesn't like what Andrew Tate has said, he cannot understand for the life of him why he's been deplatformed.
I found it very interesting interviewing Jordan Peterson and Andrew Tate, both very controversial characters in different ways, both positioned as a kind of kings of toxic masculinity. I certainly didn't think Jordan Peterson was that. And when it came to Andrew Tate, I couldn't really conclude after 90 minutes of grilling him. I gave him quite a hard time. I couldn't really conclude what he had done that was so bad that he had to be expunged from social media life altogether. But it showed me the sensitivity around all this. And if any man now behaves in a way that looks like it's toxic masculinity, bang, they're expunged.
Even went as far as saying that he uploaded a video that had a lot of views and was getting a lot of views to Facebook and to the Meta and everything, and that got taken down, and he is stunned by it. And that could surely start to be showing in his mind that, hold on, yeah, this, what is actually going on? There is something deeper at play. Like I said, when someone speaks the truth very loudly and a lot of people start to believe it and it goes against the agenda and the conversation that is wanted by the system and the government, they will pull that down. They will try and stop it. But Andrew Tate is so loud now that people are making more and more videos about him and more videos that are questioning people what they think of Andrew Tate. Now, what I find funny from watching all these videos is how many people are deluded and how many people are women that actually dislike him. But there are also so many women that actually advocate for him.
Andrew Tate. I know exactly who that guy is. I didn't even know he was banned.
Okay,
What?
what
He's dangerous to the platform. What's he doing?
Because of his views and stuff like that. What do you think about that?
That's goofy. Everyone should be able to have their own opinion, right?
I would think so, but I mean, apparently they don't think that.
Oh, they didn't think that?
No.
But now what I want you to do is have a look at the amount of people that do like him that are women, but look at kind of guesstimate on the age range, and then have a look at the people that dislike him on the age range. Now, this is what the system is doing. Take people who are gullible and willing to believe anything and believe basically one line of a 100-line essay that has the entire context, but take one line, shove that down their throats, and there we go. So it is the younger generation. It is the I would say the range teenagers to early 20s. That's the age range that they target and try to say. So Andrew Tate says a few words, they take it out of context, shove that and say that is the conversation he had, that's what he said, don't worry about the context, just believe he's a bad man, and then boom, deplatform, and everyone hates him. But when people started getting asked the question of why you don't like him, there is something they could not say. And that is why they don't like him. So the ones that did say why they don't like him, they were asked, give a reason, give an example. They could not do it. And why? Well, either because they have a memory of a goldfish and they can't remember what he said, but can clearly remember that they don't like him, or they've just been given a narrative and told to run with it. They've been given a narrative and said, no, that's fine. You don't need context, because this is what's happening now within our society. We've been given a lot of narratives with no context and told to believe it. Why would you do that? When knowledge is the root of all power, and knowledge helps you to further yourself in any aspect, doesn't need to be knowledge of university, knowledge in anything. Why would you not question things? Why would you believe one line? Why would you not go and research? If you're going to make a definitive decision of not liking someone, there has to be a plausible reason. There are people I don't like in my life that I don't want to be around, and there are reasons for that. There are examples that I can give, but that is the reality of it. But if you cannot give a reason on why you don't like Andrew Tate, or then what are you doing? Then why are you even having this discussion? Then there was the word misogynist. Misogynist was given out, and when questioned on what does the word misogynist mean, they went blank. Now, fair play, there is a lady that literally said, well played. You got me. You got me.
Andrew Tate is?
Yes, I do.
Do you like him?
No.
Why?
He's really misogynistic, and like his views, they're so extreme.
Define misogyny for me.
Yeah, you got me.
And I like that, because we are human. We are bound to make mistakes. We are bound to believe things without context. But if you are open to learning and to making a change, then that's fine. There are thousands of women that definitely do agree with Andrew Tate, and you've seen them more and more now. But like I said, look at that age range and look at the age range of the people that don't like him. Now, the men that don't like him, I want you to have a look at them and who they're standing around. They're either simping for the woman or just trying to look good for the woman. And that's where I say that's a no-no, because you are giving up your own free mind just to impress someone. That's a no-no. There is a topic that has been having is that relationships and girlfriends are starting to ask the question to their, boyfriends, husbands, or partner, or whatever, and saying, basically, as an ultimatum, if you like him, get the fuck out. And I'm sorry, but relationships aren't a one-mind thing. Relationships is a one relationship thing. You don't see anyone else. However you want your relationship, that's how it is. But in a relationship, you can still be unique and have your own mind, your own thoughts, your own process. The only difference is in a relationship, that is, if you feel about something, then have a discussion about it. But in the end, you compromise, right? But if you're telling me, if I firmly believe now that I like Andrew Tate and you don't, I'm going to just say, okay, cool, we agree to disagree, and we don't really need to speak about the topic because you feel a certain way about it, and I feel a certain way about it. If you want to have a debate about it, let's have a debate about it constructively, without screaming, without turning it into a fight. First of all, then great, we can do that. We can try and see each other's point of view, because that's the point of a debate. That's the point of a discussion, to try and see each other's point of view. If you can do that, then fine. And if at the end of it we agree to disagree, we move on. But if you're going to give an ultimatum just straight up without even having a conversation and saying, because you like it, we cannot have this relationship, you, sir or madam, should not be in a relationship at all. Giving ultimatums is one of the worst things you can do in general for a relationship. Giving ultimatums is terrible. Giving ultimatums should be in certain serious cases. Like, if you don't stop drugs, boom, we can't have this relationship. That makes sense. There is understanding there. There is reason. There's plausible reason for that. It's an extreme. So an extreme needs to come with another extreme. You want to give an ultimatum relationship? That's an extreme. People also aren't aware that if you think Andrew Tate is extreme, you got to understand then why he's there. Every extreme action will be followed by an extreme reaction, right? So there's been a lot of extreme things happening, a lot of people saying things, a lot of people saying men are all trash, a lot of people saying having a podcast is okay if it says kill all men, that the narrative is that no, men are down here and women up here, that the whole thing of what feminism was supposed to be is basically out the window, and that it's no more about, equality, and it's about being superior, and it's about this. If you are not earning $100,000 a year, then you are nothing. There is the entire shift that somehow reality has completely escaped the woman's sphere in saying that, 100,000, that's normal. When I, who's not even living in the USA, know that round about the average is about $50,000 a year, and that you are in good space and lucky if by the age of 40, 45, you are getting 100,000 a year. But that's also years of work. And the thing is, they've been sold the reality of the 1% in both regards, 1% of women and 1% of men. They've been sold that reality and made to believe that it's true. If 1% of all men are earning the massive amount of money, how is that reality? That is reality because it is true for a small set. If you look at the larger, you cannot expect that. This thing of standards doesn't make sense to me in terms of monetary value. I understand standards. If you're saying, no, the man needs to be doing this and this and this and this, needs to treat me well, do this, needs to uplift me, needs to, that's fine. Have those high standards. The same with men. Have your high standards. But you cannot. But either way, have your standards, have your standards. If you want to have monetary standards, I'm going to say this. If you want me to earn 100,000, fine. If I can earn 100,000, I will. But I'm asked the same back of you. What are you going to say? And if you come back to me about the wage gap, then we cannot have the conversation. Because a lot of men that get to the point of 100,000, or the 1% of men that earn so much, I'll tell you now, they weren't making excuses, they were getting to the top. Somehow we are telling men to not have traditional norms, but then clap back at men when we don't express traditional norms. Men are told to, not show emotion and not cry, be men, wada. And then when that happens, when we do exactly what has been asked of us, you get clapped back. Example, Jordan Peterson, who is an emotional person, is not afraid to be an emotional man, but gets clapped back at being emotional. Right? Not getting into that. I already have a video about that. Andrew Tate being banned for basically words coming out of his mouth and having his say and having his opinion is really foolish to me, because what happened to freedom of speech? And do not come to me and saying, Meta have the right to do that. Yes, they have the right to do that. But when you come at someone for no reason at all, and you're saying, no, because he's dangerous, he sets a dangerous precedent, I must start asking questions. Well, what about all the terrorists on your platform? The human trafficking platforms on your platform? What are you doing about that? What I find funny is that you immediately clap back at the man who's at the top, the man that's making the most noise. You clapped at him, but you're not solving the problem. People think that deplatforming him is going to solve the issue. There's going to be someone else that's going to come in. There might be someone else worse. There might be someone who's saying these things he's saying, but he's saying in an extreme way and saying that you must hate on women. You must put women in their place. You must. That is an extreme. That is an extreme that I do not follow. Andrew Tate is not saying that. Andrew Tate is saying the real things, right? Whether or not you agree with him, there is truth to some of the things he is saying. And the thing I'm going to question is this. How does it fix the problem? How does this fix the problem? You do not fix a rotting tree by cutting off the top. You have to unfortunately remove it by the roots. You have to remove it by the roots. You want to fix the problem, dig at the roots. You can't cut off the top and expect. You cut off the top, a whole bunch of other heads are going to show up. And there might be even more extreme ones. There are bigger problems in the world at the moment than Andrew Tate having his say and having his words. We got wars starting to rage out. We got North Korea throwing ballistic missiles over Japan, getting a little bit antsy. We got China who's trying to do things there or, you know. But I'm going to push a little bit further. That fits a little bit more in context with everything. We're shouting so loud about how Andrew Tate is so bad for the world. What are we doing for the women that are getting killed just because they want their own rights in Iran? No one's speaking loud about that, right? But you'll speak so loud about a man who has literally said women should be cared for and should be respected and should be provided for. They are precious. They are beautiful human beings. Women are, right? And the funny thing is, when that line came out and brought to the people, without even saying who it was, women were all for it. Yeah. And when they said who was from, so, oh, no. You like the statement, but I hate the man. Like, weird. Very weird. Our priorities have completely shifted. Because here's the thing I'm going to put to you. If you're getting offended by someone you don't even know personally, you don't know Andrew Tate personally, and you're getting offended by the words he is saying, I'm going to question you. It's just words, people. If you do not like what he is saying and everything, don't get so worked up on it. Do exactly what social media was made for. Scroll. Keep scrolling. Andrew Tate is not the problem. He is not the problem. No way should he have been deplatformed. Andrew Tate might be the solution for men to maybe get a kick up their ass and start moving on. Start saying, okay, shit, I got to do things. I got to better myself. That is the thing people aren't seeing. He even says things like, the time you have with your boys is finite, so enjoy it. Better yourself. Be around a group that is trying to better themselves. Be around a group that is there telling you, get a move on. Push. He's saying, be around a good group. What? And he is deplatformed? He is human. He is bound to make mistakes. He is bound to say things that maybe he shouldn't have said. Or, you know, like he's now learned, and he's even said on Piers Morgan interview, and he said, I've learned that there is a way that I could word things. There is a way I could say things that are better. But he's also made a good point. You could be offending anyone by saying anything. Even Trevor Noah has said it. The way you say things could offend someone. You could be saying it in a very open manner with no malice, nothing, but there will be that one person who thinks of it wrong. There'll be that said group that think it's absolutely despicable what you've said, but you've said nothing malice, you meant nothing by it, you didn't, even the way you said it didn't even come across as demeaning. So anything you can say, especially on the internet, can be construed as something terrible. Trying to navigate what is being said and what is happening is baffling to me. Trying to understand how this man has been deplatformed is baffling. The world is told, don't worry about what people say, but then ultimately we worry about what the words of people are saying. We're told freedom of speech, but yet when freedom of speech is being done, no, hold on, it doesn't fit within our guidelines. We're in a very, very dangerous place if we are judging people on their beliefs, and their opinions. Because here's the thing, an opinion is opinion. Right? Opinion doesn't mean it's a fact. Opinion is a way someone feels. An opinion isn't always valid, but that's what it is. You cannot get worked up by someone's opinion. Andrew Tate believes a certain way of living, and he's getting judged for it. I don't understand that. I look at it and I'm like, what the hell? But the one thing I am happy is that even though he got deplatformed, he's doing something that other people that have been deplatformed haven't been able to do. And that's this. Carry on speaking, carry on pressing the word. He said himself he feels he has a duty and he's trying to fulfill that duty, as any human should. If you feel you have a duty to fulfill, go and fulfill that. Men are being bashed left, right, and center of late, and we in the crossfire. No matter what we do, if we're too good, if we're too nice, we bashed. If we're the player, we bash. But as a player, you don't give a fuck because it's like, I'm here to fuck. I'm being told that every second thing we do is a misogynist things. I mean, because the word gets thrown around that much like it's free candy, and without even actually knowing what the bloody hell the word means. It's kind of funny. It's kind of a joke. Men are afraid to be men because they're afraid one wrong step could put them on a very different path. That is more scary to me when that happens. That is more scary to me when that happens. When people are afraid to be who they are. And I thought we were getting past that. I thought we were getting to the point where people could just be who they want to be without ridicule, without anything. It's funny, the people who believe that I can be who I want to be, that I am supposed to be who I want to be. If I'm trans, I'm trans. If I feel like a woman, I can be a woman. And that's good. But I feel like that group of people who fight so much for that are contradicting themselves by hating on someone. Now, I'm not trying to say everybody that's trans, that's gay, and everyone that's within that group is hating on Andrew Tate. I'm trying to make a point that it feels like everything that they fought for, they're literally now doing against that person. Andrew Tate's never come out and hated on trans people. He's never hated on gay people. He's even said it, be who you want to be. But the same way that we need to allow people to be who they want to be, people also need to understand that other people need to be who they be. People are going to have their opinions, like Andrew Tate. And that's what it is. Someone having their words. He should have never been deplatformed. Should have never, ever been deplatformed. Like, it's stupid. I don't understand it. We got bigger things in this world to worry about. A lot of people are saying we are in for a society collapse. And let me tell you, if there's a society collapse, we generally, as human species, we generally go back to what we know. It's stupid. Again, I don't understand it. I'm going to keep saying it. But Andrew Tate should have never been banned. He's just a man saying, if you don't agree with him, then scroll. But don't start saying words you don't even know what the meaning is. Don't start saying things that you don't like him and start doing stupid things. Because the more and more this keeps happening, the more I just look at the world, I'm like, well, we're just contradicting ourselves. Oh, ban him, but what about him? What about her? Cardi B, a good example. Drug men, stole their money. Oh no, but she was growing. She was becoming her own person. She's not who she is now. So it's okay. But when the alternative happens, and the person, it's a problem. I'm just trying to understand. Andrew Tate is having a freedom of speech and expression of his own opinion, which he's allowed to. And we condemn that. But yet someone who dances with the devil, we don't condemn that. We just say it's art, it's freedom of expression. So then what the hell is Andrew Tate? I feel that's a whole lot worse, because whether or not you go religious, if you put in a hypothetical term, dancing with the devil is a very dangerous thing. And like I said, don't even put religion into it. Dancing with the devil is a very dangerous thing. Because anybody hypothetically could be the devil. Think about that. So we ridicule someone for having freedom of speech, but then we say someone that dances with the devil is art? Contradicting ourselves. I said it in my last video, I said it's a very dangerous precedent if all we're going to do is contradict ourselves. If you contradict yourself and you own up to it, then that's fine. I've said it before, we're human, we make mistakes, we do things wrong, but if you learn from it and move forward. But if all you're going to end up doing is just contradicting, and you're going to keep your opinion, and you're always going to shout to other person about your opinion, about how you feel, you're never going to get anywhere. You know what I found so amazing? Andrew Tate, in everything he's done, all interviews, everything he's like done with people. He's come from a place of logic. He's come from a place that is facts. He's come from a place that's at a certain level that isn't going above and isn't going lower. He's just keeping it here. But I've noticed whenever there is logic and facts in the door, people want to ignore it because people's feelings and the way they feel is more important than a fact. Let me give you a reality check. Facts don't care about your feelings. If you can have an opinion, I'm gonna let you have your opinion. But if you're wrong, you're wrong. If it's factual, right? If your opinion is facts and you're able to prove that, then cool, you are right. But if you leave your opinion as your opinion, how you feel, that's perfectly fine. But then do not condemn someone else that's literally just come at you with facts and maybe their own opinion. I don't think Andrew Tate should have been banned, but I want to know what you guys think. I want to know, do you think he should have been banned? Do you think that it was absolutely ridiculous? I want to know what you feel. If you don't like Andrew Tate, let me know. That's the whole point of this. This whole channel is just about speaking our minds and having our say, and that's what I want. In the comments, say what you want to say. Do it. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up. If you didn't, you know what to do. Otherwise, subscribe. But thank you so much for being here, guys. Do the best you can. I'll check you in the next.